Far beyond the furthest reaches of the Milky Way, where starlight faded into the infinite darkness, a small fleet of alien ships drifted in silent formation. These ships belonged to a species known as the Thralians, beings of crystalline bodies that shimmered like living prisms beneath the glow of distant suns. Their civilization had existed for over 2 billion years, long before humanity took its first breath on Earth, and yet even with all their knowledge and mastery over the fabric of reality, they faced a mystery greater than any they had ever encountered. The Thralians had discovered a sound. It was not a normal sound, not waves of vibration carried through air or matter, but something deeper, an impossible frequency pulsing through the very quantum foam of the universe. It repeated endlessly, like a slow heartbeat, resonating from somewhere beyond the edges of known space. Their scientists called it the Echo, and the ruling council of the Thralians feared it more than war, more than famine, more than extinction itself. It was older than galaxies, older than time itself, and for reasons none could explain, it had grown louder in recent cycles. The fleet, consisting of 12 colossal vessels, approached the Void Nexus, an uncharted region where light itself seemed reluctant to enter. Their commander, Sirixin, was unlike any Thralian before him. Where others lived in harmony with their shared consciousness, Sirixin's mind was different, capable of independent thought and intuition, a rare mutation that the Council had long debated whether to treat as a defect or a gift. Sirixin stood on the crystalline bridge of the flagship Elysium Radiant, gazing at the infinite horizon of darkness as he issued commands in harmonics only his species could produce. "Prepare for veil breach," his voice resonated, refracting through the minds of his crew. Beyond the Nexus lay something no probe had ever returned from. A billion light-years of nothingness, no stars, no gas, no energy, not even the faint hum of cosmic microwave radiation. It was as though a hand had scooped out a piece of reality and hidden it away. Yet the echo pulsed strongest from within. The moment the Elysium Radiant crossed the threshold, everything changed. Stars behind them dimmed into a faint blur as if reality had folded in on itself. The usual background noise of space, the soft static of particle collisions, the whispers of pulsars, the distant murmurs of quasars vanished entirely. The silence was so complete that even thought felt heavier. Sirixin's crystalline core refracted uneasily, shimmering with spectrums of deep blue and violet, emotions only other Thralians could see. The crew tightened their neural links, scanning for anomalies. Then they saw it. At the center of the void floated something impossible, a structure larger than 1,000 galaxies combined, forged not from matter as they understood it, but from a lattice of space-time itself. It pulsed in harmony with the echo, each reverberation bending reality like ripples in a cosmic ocean. "We are not the first," whispered Vera, the fleet's lead harmonist, her crystalline frame vibrating at a frequency of unease. Across the Radiant's vision plane, archives unlocked fragments of forgotten history, evidence that billions of civilizations before the Thralians had come here, each drawn by the echo, and none had ever returned. Their ships were here still, frozen in perfect preservation, drifting like corpses in a tomb carved into the universe itself. Some were organic, grown from living matter, others were forged from exotic materials humanity had no name for, and some were so alien in form that they defied comprehension entirely. Yet none showed signs of battle or decay. It was as though something had stolen their essence, leaving behind only shells. Before Sirixin could give an order, the fleet's systems failed. The energy within their crystalline bodies dimmed, neural connections faltered, and the once perfect harmony of their collective consciousness fractured into silence. And then the voice came. Not a sound. Not language. Not thought. Something deeper. It bypassed biology and machine alike and resonated directly within the core of their being. You are fragments of us. The words carried no tone, no identity, yet within them was an ancient sorrow older than stars. The Thralians collapsed into collective silence, their crystalline bodies trembling. Vera tried to respond, her harmonics reaching across the void. Who are you? The voice rippled through them again. We were the first light. We wove the foundations upon which your universe rests. Before time, before form, we existed as the architects of becoming. But we failed. The structure you perceive was our attempt to preserve creation from collapse. We underestimated the hunger. Sirixon's fractal mind sparked with cascading light patterns, breaking free from the paralysis gripping the others. He reached into the fleet's collapsing systems and manually rerouted their consciousness stream. Hunger, he asked aloud, his harmonics sharp, fragmented. The void between. That which devours. That which was before us and shall remain after you. We are the last to hold it back, but we are fading. Suddenly, the massive lattice at the center of the void shuddered, sending waves of distorted space-time tearing outward. The frozen ships nearby were ripped apart, their molecular bonds unraveling like threads. Sirixon's fleet trembled under the force, crystalline bodies fracturing as the radiant shields dissolved like dust. We need to retreat. One of the navigators pulsed, their harmonics sharp with panic. But Sirixon hesitated. Something deep within him resonated with the echo, an almost instinctual awareness that retreat meant annihilation, that the only way to survive was to understand. He synchronized with the lattice. The moment his consciousness touched its surface, Sirixon's perception shattered into infinity. He saw the birth of the first stars, the spiraling dance of newborn galaxies, the slow heat death of universes before this one. He saw the architects crafting cosmic laws like artisans shaping glass, weaving balance between matter and void. And he saw the enemy, an incomprehensible hunger, not alive yet aware, spreading tendrils of nothingness across existence, consuming entire realities as though they were embers in the dark. The architects had built the lattice to contain it. But over eons, the structure had weakened, fractures spreading across the multiverse. The echo wasn't a warning. It was a cry for help. Sirixon pulled free, his crystalline body blazing with blinding spectrums of ultraviolet and silver, his thoughts fragmented yet burning with purpose. We are not meant to flee, he pulsed into the fleet's failing collective. We are meant to mend it. The crew hesitated, but something in his harmonics, something beyond logic, drew them back into alignment. Together, the 12 ships focused their core energy streams into the lattice. Crystalline frequencies merged, harmonics layered atop harmonics, creating a resonance never before achieved in their species' history. The void screamed. Reality buckled, collapsing and reforming around them. Fragments of ancient civilizations flickered into existence, ghostly remnants of beings long erased. The hunger recoiled, sensing resistance for the first time in billions of years. The lattice absorbed the Thralians' energy, stabilizing just enough to delay the inevitable collapse. But there was a cost. One by one, the crystalline bodies of the Thralians dimmed and fell silent as their essence merged with the structure. The Elysium radiant fractured into luminous shards, drifting like stars around the lattice. Sirixon remained connected, his consciousness expanding beyond individuality, dissolving into something greater. In his final moment of singular thought, he understood. The architects had not died. They had become the lattice. And now, so had he. Far away, across millions of galaxies, the sound of the echo faded into silence for the first time since the dawn of existence. But the silence was not victory, it was only a pause. The hunger still waited beyond the edges of everything, vast and patient, biding its time until the lattice would fail again. And somewhere, on a small blue planet orbiting an ordinary star, primitive creatures called humans looked up at the night sky, unaware that their entire reality had just been saved by a civilization they would never know existed. But far above, beyond the stars they could see, the Thralians' voices lingered within the lattice, harmonizing endlessly, preparing for the day when the hunger would rise once more.